Hello, and welcome to the Leavey School of Business. My name is Joanne Shibles, and on behalf of Dean Ed Greer, the faculty and staff at the Leavey School of Business, we are very excited to meet you and your new student as you join us this fall. My role is as Senior Assistant Dean in the Undergraduate Business Programs office is to work with our exceptional staff to interface with the academic units within the business school and also the departments outside of the business school to create just a wonderful experience for your son or daughter while you are all here with us for the next 4 years. I have been at the university for over 20 years, and one of my favorite times of the year is in the fall when all the new students and families join us. So we're very much looking forward to meeting you when you join us this fall. This presentation has three goals. First, I am going to do a very brief overview with you of the Leavey School of Business. Second, I will share some information with you around what your son and daughter are doing and will be doing in order to register and select classes for the fall. And third, we will talk about next steps. So with that, I am going to, in just a moment, share my screen with you, which might take a moment, and then I will be off screen while I talk through the rest of my presentation. So do know that we are here to answer any of your questions throughout the summer. Please don't hesitate to contact us, and certainly I hope you participate in the many other opportunities that both the business school and the university are providing you to both become familiar and acclimate to joining us here at the Leavey School of Business and Santa Clara. Okay, so with that, let me share my screen. Thank you. So as I said, welcome to the Leavey School of Business. We are very much looking forward to meeting your son and daughter over the summer in their registration and advising, as well as in the fall. Certainly, our purpose is to develop your student into an exceptional business professional during their 4 years that they are with us. We will transform your daughter or son from first-year student all the way to graduation into their chosen profession to become a business leader who creates and works to make, in our Jesuit tradition, our world a more just and humane place. And certainly we will do that in the areas that you see on this slide with people of imagination and conscience. We will work with them to help them find their passions for academic excellence and innovation. And we do all of this in an area unlike any other in the Silicon Valley. We will plug your student into the dynamics of the Valley with hundreds of companies within a 60-mile radius of campus. It's quite extraordinary. And of course, these businesses recruit at Santa Clara, provide internships for our students, and many of our alumni work in these companies as they are on the cutting edge of innovation in the country and, quite frankly, the world. We are also very proud about our national rankings shared on this slide, which continue to challenge us to strive for further excellence. Poets and Quants ranked us number 25 as an undergraduate business programs, whereas US News and World Report has us ranked as number 49. Both wonderful acknowledgments of the hard work our faculty, staff, students, and alumni do to support the business school. We have two types of faculty within the Leavey School of Business who will provide an exceptional learning experience for your student. First, our teaching scholars who have dedicated their lives to the creation of knowledge through their research, scholarship, and teaching. An example of this would be Professor Hirsch Sheffrin, who is a faculty member in finance. Professor Sheffrin has created with his colleague the world of behavioral finance. There was no academic discipline of behavioral finance until Professor Sheffrin and Professor Stopman created that. They are really internationally renowned, and both of these faculty members teach. Professor Hirsch Sheffrin only teaches undergraduates, so how exciting would it be to be in a classroom with him if you're a finance major? Also, our professors of practice are people who are often top-level leaders, either retired or still working in the Silicon Valley and beyond. Abha Singhvi is a great example of that, who had great success early on in starting a number of businesses that she did. She will be one of our faculty members who is teaching our introductory business class, which each of your son and daughters will be enrolled in the fall quarter. We feel that these faculty create the best of the both worlds, with students by being taught by both of these faculty who work together to help students find their calling and what they're passionate in studying about. And certainly each of your students doing this will declare their major. Their major must be declared by the end of their sophomore year, so there's plenty of time. And you can see the number of majors that are listed here in the business school. We also offer many minors in the business school. Often students will take a major in the business school and a minor. However, our minors are open to all students across the university, with the exception of business analytics, which is only offered to our business students. Additionally, business students are welcome to pick perhaps a second major in the College of Arts and Science and maybe even a minor either throughout the College of Arts and Science or perhaps even in the School of Engineering. All of these opportunities are open and available, and faculty encourage students to explore all facets of their interests and areas that they would like to study. Our 4+1 program is a program that is offered through our graduate program. These programs are when you take coursework in your senior year at the graduate level that counts towards your master's degree. We have programs in Masters in Business Analytics, Financial Analytics, and Information Systems. More information can be found on the LSB website or by contacting our Undergraduate Business Programs office on this particular program. We also like to remind families about a few statistics before moving to our information about advising and registration. First, all of our incoming first-year business students will have their very first business class with us during their first quarter in the fall. Business 70 contemporary business issues will be taught to all of our first-year students. Our average class size in the business school is about 28, which is great. So faculty know your students, know their names, and very much want to do that. And we have a great percentage both in terms of students who complete at least one internship while they're with us. Often people do two. And we have a very high placement rate for students after graduation. So I know you're wondering, what is my student doing to prepare for their course selection and registration in the fall? Well, there's a number of things that I'm going to share with you. One, a little bit ago, your students were sent an invitation to a module on what is called our online Camino platform, and this was sent to their students' SU email. This module, which is not hugely long, but provides information and an overview of all of the specifics that students need to understand in terms of how the registration process works and how they begin to go about course selection. Secondly, they will be doing course planning with pre-enrolled courses. All first-year students at the university are pre-enrolled in some classes that meet requirements for their university core classes. So students will receive their pre-enrolled classes and course worksheet approximately 1 week before their orientation and registration session. They should begin to fill out this course worksheet with possible courses prior to their registration date. And we have several things that I'll talk about in just a minute to help them with this process. Thirdly, and something that is important for them to continue to look at, is some students are required and will need to take their calculus readiness exam. All students within the business school are required to complete 2 calculus classes. Depending on what they have done in high school and how they do on the CRE will determine where they place in terms of calculus. And it is important that students do this so that they are placed well. Let me also say that some students who have AP credit will want to take some time to look at, as I would encourage all families to look at, what is a wonderful video on the math department's website on who needs to take the CRE and how it is done and how it lands the student in their particular math sequence. Secondly, for those who are interested in starting their second language requirement or continuing on in a language, the Modern Language website also has information on their process for placing students. So there is a proficiency process that students need to go through to be able to place in a language class. So please take some time, or make sure your students taking some time to do their CRE and their second language process if they're interested in starting in those classes. Finally, but not lastly, of course, we have wonderful peer advising support. We have a number of LSB student peer advisors who are upper division students who have worked diligently and been trained on our curriculum, who will hold several group advising sessions to provide insights on successful registration and answer all of your students' questions. Also, the advisors will be available during the course planning timeframe and can answer any questions at the email that you see listed here. It's actually a terrific program, and we find that incoming students meet and really provide and ask lots of great questions to current students and colleagues. So it sometimes is less intimidating than asking all of these questions to faculty members as well. So what will take place during their advising and registration session? First, they will meet with a faculty member. So on the day of their registration, the students will join their Zoom meeting, and a faculty advisor will greet them and work with them on their schedule and answer any of their questions. Secondly, they will work to finalize their fall schedule. They will work with that faculty member throughout the time of their registration and finalize their schedule so that when they leave that advising registration time, they will have their fall schedule set and done, which is very exciting. So what does their first year curriculum look like? For students in the business school, in addition to their university core requirements that they will be taking, business school students will just start to get into some of their business curriculum. So over the course of the year, they may take some math and statistics, some economics, and perhaps some information systems classes. But as I said, all first year students in fall quarter will be enrolled in our Business 70 Contemporary Business Issues course. They will take this class in the fall. Everyone will get a spot in that class. And it's an exciting class because it's just first year business class students who are taking the class together. And it is a class that's taught by either retired executives or sometimes current executives from the Valley, which is really fun. So you have faculty members who've come back to teach these students and have just wonderful scenarios to share with students as they're learning the basic context and language around the world of business. And then you can see other options that students might take. They might be in an econ class, an OMIS Excel class, a business ethics class, some calculus classes, or the many other university core classes that they will need to take in order to meet their degree requirements. Another way to look at this is that the first class students will find on their schedule is their pre-enrolled course, which will either be a critical thinking and writing class, a religion, theology, and culture course, or a cultures and ideas class. All of these classes, students will be pre-enrolled in one of either of these, and they will either start that class in the fall or winter. So there's one class done. Secondly, as we just talked about, they will enroll in Business 70, the Contemporary Business Issues class, and then they are looking for a third and fourth class, which could be a mix of either university core classes or business core classes, as you can see listed here. And again, faculty members and our LSB student peer advisors will be here to help them answer questions and help determine what classes they might be interested in taking and or register for. We do a few scheduling tips with families and students. We just want to remind you that a typical first year course load is about 4 classes. It could be 4 or 3, 4 4-unit classes or 3 4-unit classes with a 2-unit class. 12 units is a full-time status for a student. And that Santa Clara is on the quarter system. So it moves very quickly. A quarter is 10 weeks plus a week of finals. We want to remind students and families that you should plan to travel home after your last final. Do not assume that a faculty member will change a final based on your need to do travel or airline arrangements earlier. That does not happen often. So you want to make sure that your travel takes place after the last final the student has. Classes are on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday. There's a 10-minute break between classes, which is plenty of time to get from one side of campus to the other. And if you could help remind and share with your students that at a university, classes are offered morning. We start at 8 o'clock in the morning and into the evening. Sometimes it's a tough or a little bit of a challenging adjustment for students to understand that they may be enrolling in classes in late afternoon or into the evening. And sometimes classes are just great because they're taught from folks who are coming right from their jobs to be in the classroom with students as well. So if you could help pass that along to your student, that would be great, and keep their minds open about enrolling at any time during the day. So what are our next steps? Our next steps for students is that they're working to complete the online Camino module, they're course planning with their pre-enrolled courses, and they're visiting and attending a peer advising support session or reaching out to our peer advisors at this email address to get some support. And for parents and guests, they are attending potentially a Leavey School of Business webinar. Dates and times will be sent to you, and or sending us questions that we can help you with over the course of the summer. So with that, let me again welcome you to Bronco Nation and the Santa Clara University community. We are very much looking forward to working with you over the next few months to help your students get acclimated and join us in the fall. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And again, looking forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.